is nothing more than a tube, I like to draw it, of what? Simple squamous epithelium, called endothelium. So this is your capillary. One cell, another. This is simple squamous. And on the outside, what do you have? All epithelium sits on a, what's the name? Basement membrane. Bad. Remember that from last term? Epithelium sits on a basement membrane. And that's a capillary. And when you look at it in cross-section, what do you see? Here is the simple squamous epithelium, the little bones for its nucleus. And here's the next one. And they overlap, in this case. And that little space where they overlap is called a cleft. And when things enter and leave the capillary, they usually what? Leave in and out through the cleft. But I made it big, but the cleft is what? Really, really small. You know what can't get out? Cells, big proteins. Okay, it's a very what? Small cleft. That's one type of capillary. Okay? And it sits on the basement membrane. Where do you have capillaries? Everywhere except, let's see how good you are. Where won't you find capillaries? I got 3. What? They're here.
In your brain?
I hope you have capillaries. How do you feed your brain? God, you gotta have capillaries. Don't you need to have things what? Enter and leave the blood? Cornea. And what else? Lens. Absolutely right. And here's the third one. I'll give you a hint. It's a type of tissue that you learned last term. Oh, I forgot.
Aqueous humor.
What?
Aqueous humor.
It was a tissue. Which one has no blood supply? Cartilage. Remember, cartilage has no blood supply. All remember that? AMP1? Okay. What's the function of capillaries? Answer. You should know it. To allow things to what? Leave the blood and things to enter the blood. Things move always from an area of higher concentration to lower. So if the blood is loaded with oxygen and the tissue is low, then oxygen is going to leave, right? If the tissue and the interstitial fluid is loaded in CO2, then it will enter the blood because the blood has what? Lower amounts of CO2. If the blood is loaded with glucose and the interstitial fluid and cells are low in glucose, glucose will leave. If the cells and the interstitial fluid is high in waste products like creatinine and urea, that will go where? Into the blood. Life is really what? Higher to lower, with what exception? Active transport. Remember, that goes against the concentration. Okay.